I had developed a reputation of being able to get players, and I had a decision to make between Auburn University and the University of Colorado. And at the time, it was rumored that both head coaches were going to get fired, and so I went to Colorado and visited there, and the athletic director convinced me he was going to stick with the head coach, Joe Harrington, at the time. And I stepped out on faith, prayed about it, and moved my family to Colorado from Nashville, Tennessee.
I'm so excited today to have on the show today. He is an amazing coach. He's an amazing person. I just had the privilege and opportunity to do a panel with him today. Please welcome to the show, Coach Patton. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing well, Lefty.
Man, let's talk about this opportunity that you had to come on board at the University of Colorado. Before you go there, here on the Art of Rebounding, we talk about persistence.
Yeah.
We talk about positioning, and we talk about purpose. I feel like everything in life is tied to your purpose. If you can figure out your purpose, then you can figure out anything else here. Tell me, how'd you know on the other side of that mountain, because you had a whole bunch of success. I believe you were the second winningest coach in school history. That's the glory, but people don't know the story, right?
Right, yeah,
They don't.
absolutely.
You know what I mean? What's the backside of that? How did we get there?
Well, I had started out working in television as a cameraman my first 5 years out of college, and then just got the urge to get back around the game of basketball. And so I went back to school, got certified to teach. I taught 1 year at the middle school, 1 year at the high school, and then I got to the collegiate level. Middle Tennessee State University, I stayed there a couple of years. I went to Arkansas, Little Rock, Tennessee State. And at that point, I had developed a reputation of being able to get players. And I had a decision to make between Auburn University and the University of Colorado. And at the time, it was rumored that both head coaches were going to get fired. And so I went to Colorado and visited there. And the athletic director convinced me he was going to stick with the head coach, Joe Harrington, at the time. And I stepped out on faith, prayed about it, and moved my family to Colorado from Nashville, Tennessee.
Wow. So now, somebody's listening to this, someone's looking at this, and they're saying, that sounds great. I don't know if I can do that. I'm not sure I can. You talking about stepping out on faith, people may be like, oh, I don't know if I want to step in that water. What would you say to that person? That's your camera. What would you say to that person who's having a unsure moment? They're talented. They may feel called to do what it is that they're doing. They may feel led to do what it is that they're doing, but they allowed that false evidence appearing real, that fear to set in. What would you say to that person?
Well, for me, I just believe that we all have two voices that speak to us. And we have to decide which voice we want to listen to. And I think one voice is from God and the other is from someplace else that may not mean us well at the time. And so I think we have to learn to trust that voice that we believe is from a higher being. And wherever we go, whatever decision we make, I think God will be there.
That's good. Now, you get there, you become the second winningest coach. How'd you rebuild that system?
Well, the first 2 years I was assistant coach there. The head coach stepped down with 12 games remaining going into my third season. And they named me the interim coach. I coached the last 12 games. We had enough talent, but that talent didn't know how to work hard. And so I just thought that if we could get those young men to believe in doing the extra, creating an edge for themselves and working a little bit harder, doing the things necessary to stay eligible even on the court, I thought we had a chance to win. And we had a nucleus of guys like a Chauncey Billups, we had a young man by the name of Martise Moore, Fred Evans. I mean, we had some guys, Will Smith, out of Memphis, Tennessee. So we had some guys that were very capable.
I hope that you are enjoying the Art of Rebounding. Do me a favor. I need you to hit that subscribe button. Also need you to like, comment, share. Do it for me. Do it for your boy, Harold Lefty Williams. Always remember, dare to dream. So now you have Chauncey Billups coming in. I have an interesting saying of coaches and point guards. Was Chauncey a player, a point guard that was kind of like your extension arm, or was he one of those guys where you had to be like, okay, now this is what I need? Or would you say he's so talented, I'm just gonna let him? He knows what we done prepared for this. Just go ahead. Or was it one of those things where, hey, get us in this first, and then what was that like?
I think the first description you gave, he was more of an extension of the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
I, of course, was a point guard myself,
Mm-hmm.
understood the game, but I also recognized in him that he had great leadership skills that his teammates would follow.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a student of the game, and he wanted to be coached. There were a lot of things that helped him to become the player that he became.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it began with the desire to not just get to the league, but he wanted to be relevant when he got to the league.
Mm-hmm.
And of course he was.
And see, so someone out there, you need to hear that. You have to want to be coached. You have to want to be in a place and in a position to where you want, where someone can help you. Oftentimes we feel like, or we think that we don't have help. Sometimes that's true, but in other times that's not true. We have the help, but we're not utilizing the help that we actually have. Yeah. And so I encourage each and every one of you who are out there listening, and you who are watching this, to make sure that you're sitting around and being open to being coached, being open and be coachable. Like, one of the things that I love about the game of basketball, for me, Coach, is that when things are going wrong, we can always call timeout, right? Let's calm it down. Let's take, they about to make a run here. Let me call this timeout. We're gonna take the crowd out of it. But not only that, we getting ready to draw up a play, and we getting ready to do what a lot of people don't often do in life, and that's execute. Can you talk about the importance to you, not just on the sidelines, but in your own life, of why it's important to make sure that you're executing on things that will help get you to that next level?
Well, every coach has a game plan set up to try to beat their opponent. Mm-hmm. And of course, you work on that game plan throughout the week prior to the game. And it only takes one person to not do their part, play their role, as you well know. And those teams that have the greatest success are those teams that their players, one, buy in to what's being taught, but also are able to, in the moment, execute the game plan that has been devised for their success. And so it's very important, it's very critical for those players to be able to execute whatever it is that you draw up. Because if you draw it up as a coach, and I don't care who you are as a coach, if you draw it up and your players don't execute it, that play is probably not going to work.
That's true. That's true. So it does not matter what degree you have. It does not matter what training you have. What matters is that you actually executed on those things that you have learned, on the things that you have obtained. Because I always say this, I say all of life takes place in between your two ears. And a lot of times we can either talk ourselves into a situation or talk ourselves out of a situation. And I'm so glad for people like you, Coach, because you've been able to constantly talk yourself into a situation because you've been confident enough and believing in who you are to keep evolving. I hope everyone's enjoying the Art of Rebounding podcast, because if you are, you're really going to enjoy my new upcoming book that's on the way. You guessed it. It's called The Art of Rebounding. Head on over to theartofrebounding.com to join the waiting list today. Always remember, dare to dream. So how'd you know that this was your sweet spot where you are today? Because you started, you were point guard yourself, then media, then coaching, right? And now you're running the Porter-Billups Leadership Academy. Yeah. And I just wow, it's just level to level. And these aren't lateral moves, by the way. By no stretch of the imagination. It's just higher and higher and higher and higher. Yeah. Talk to us about the foundation, what it means to you, what it means to Chauncey, what it's about, and then where do you see you guys going in the next 6 months, 12 months?
Well, of course, the Porter-Billups Leadership Academy is an academy for underserved kids in Denver, Colorado. It was started by a gentleman by the name of Lonnie Porter, who coached at Regis University for 38 years.
Oh, wow.
And he started in 1996, and Chauncey Billups partnered with him in 2006. So therefore, it became the Porter-Billups Leadership Academy. So if a child comes in the month of June for 3 weeks, from this 4th grade summer to the 11th grade summer, so 9 straight summers, if they come to this academy where we're teaching leadership skills, we're teaching personal finance, financial literacy, we just partnered with Google. If they come 9 straight summers, then we scholarship them to Regis University. That's the carrot at the end.
Yep.
And we have our fundraising activities in July. We have a nice gala that we have. We have a couple of golf tournaments. This year we're having a pickleball tournament as well. We've had keynote speakers like Dr. J. Prime Time was a keynote speaker a couple of years ago, and because Chauncey Billups was going into the Hall of Fame last year, he did a Q&A on stage, and we had the singer Kenny Lattimore to perform. And this year, this past summer, in June, we had Charles Barkley, who was phenomenal at the gala. And but it's near and dear to all of our hearts. Coach Porter and Chauncey Billups, he wanted to give back to his community. And so when Coach Porter stepped back, he turned 82 last summer. And so he stepped back. They asked me 2 years ago if I'd come and be the co-executive director with Chauncey to run the academy. Those were 2 people that I couldn't say no to. And so for me, it's a matter of just giving back to our young people and giving them some access and some hope and some belief and confidence in just moving forward.
Me and my wife's foundation, Dare to Dream, is all about youth. Your foundation is all about youth. Got me at hello.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No, I'm serious, Coach, because of where I come from. I come from humble beginnings, and literally, as you heard me share on the panel, I literally had to pull, nails out of the shack from behind, and I realized that they were crooked. And if I took the time to straighten it out, then it's a straight nail, and I can hammer it in and to create my hoop, right? And I knew that just like I took the time to straighten out those nails, if I took that time to straighten out my life, where would it take me? I can go straight through and straight to the top. What's going on? I hope everyone's enjoying the podcast. Listen, I have a brand new hot honey that's getting ready to come out. That's right, you heard it right. Hot honey. Harold Lefty Williams hot honey. Listen, when flavor meets fire, legends are made. and this is what we put together. I've teamed up with Creative Fire Kiln and Kitchen, and we came up with the Honey Bee Hotness. This is amazing. Shout out to Creative Fire Kiln and Kitchen. Thank you for the opportunity to have this collab and have my own Honey Bee Hotness. For more information on this, go to honeybeehotness.com. honeybeehotness.com. Like, share, comment on this episode. Hope you're enjoying it. Now back to the show. And so it means a lot to me to be able to not only share a panel with you, but to have you on the podcast is an honor and a privilege that I don't take lightly.
Thank you.
Because iron sharpens iron, and I want to be just as sharp as the next knife in the drawer. I don't want to be dull at all, and you're not dull by any stretch of imagination. And so I appreciate you being on this podcast. I want to ask you one more question before we close, and that's this. And I ask everybody this on the podcast. You have your Avengers, your Navy SEALs. They don't know how to lose. You gave them orders, go get it done, Who's your top 5 in your life, be it players or just people that you're sending and you're like, no, these are this is my 5.
Yeah.
Who are those people?
Wow, that's a powerful question. And, we can all obviously talk about basketball players we've coached that went on to do great things with basketball. But the Avengers of life for me, I had a high school coach that was pretty amazing. And a lot of my teammates thought he was kind of nerdy, and I don't remember how good of a basketball coach he was, but I do remember what a great person he was and the lessons he tried to teach us as young kids. I'm a 5th degree black belt in Taekwondo.
Man.
I started practicing and training in the 9th grade, and I have an instructor who now lives in Vegas, moved there from Nashville, Tennessee, and he is one for sure. A lot of my philosophy about how I live and how I approach my work comes from that training that I received from Master Shin Young Kong. You know, I guess I would throw some players in there like a Chauncey Billups or Jamal Mosley, who coaches for the Orlando Magic, a Will Smith. I mean, it would be hard for me to just name 5, but those would be some names that certainly would pop up.
No, that's pretty good. I think it's a pretty good list because all of them are very successful, or have been successful. Thank you again for coming on. Thank you for sharing your wisdom with us. Is there any last thoughts that you want our listeners, our viewers to take away from today's show?
Yeah, well, I just want to thank you, first of all, for what you're doing.
Thank you.
Because it doesn't matter who we are or where we are, as long as we are trying to move our young people forward, that's great work. And I think that's God's work as well.
It is.
And so I applaud you. I applaud this podcast. I applaud the work that you and your wife are doing.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate that. Shout out to my wife, Shanifa Williams. I love you. We're celebrating 20 years of marriage this year. Super duper excited.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I married above my pay grade. I promise you that.
Yes, sir.
But I'm appreciative nonetheless. Yes, that's it for today's show of the Art of Rebounding. Remember, you can make it. Remember that your bounce back is not just around the corner. It's here. And the moment that you decide that there's still a yes on the inside of you, that there is still I can make it on the inside of me, then that's when the turnaround actually happens. And I talk about the close and the close. Is the door closed, or are you close, right? It's all perspective. And I want you to know that you can make it. I want you to know that I'm proud of you. And I want you to send me some information and let me know how you're doing. I'm always open to hear about your bounce back and your rebound and how you were able to make it happen. Follow me on social media on all platforms at Lefty Williams 42. And as I said, I'm always looking forward to hear about how you were able to bounce back, how you were able to rebound, because this is your season. And as a friend of mine would say, it's go season. You can go get it right now. Make it happen. I also want to give a huge shout out to Millard.